Okay, I think record has started. Um, we I'm gonna say this now. They are quite our numbers are increasing every day, and numbers of those who are joining the platform, joining the network every single day. People are joining in, and I think the people who are even being added to the channel right now are less than the people who are actually even registering. So we have, let's say in every day, people, maybe like 20, 30, 40% or 50 people are registering, and maybe like 10 or 20 are reaching out to get added, or 5 or so. So I think more people are going to, so the number's still going to increase. And so there are those who've been here earlier on, who've had gone through certain training, certain teachings and learning, who have a better advantage than those who just join. So that is why the first thing we do is making sure videos from the past are available for everybody to be able to go through those same videos and learn the same things, and they can apply it to get results. Now, despite that being said, there are still some of us who, especially during the 7 days challenge, there are some of us who, why you see some people's accounts are growing by 100%, some people's accounts are growing by 500%, some people's accounts are growing by 400%, some 300%, some 700%, different increase, different results, which we have been seeing a lot of persons. So my posts, some I don't even post about, that just maybe read the DM and slide away, because if I decide to be posting what everybody's sending to my DMs, I definitely can be posting every 1 hour of the day for the next following days. But that aside, there are still some of us who are not moving forward, you're not moving backward. You are just in one position. And then there are some who are having what we call limited growth than they should or than they can. And that is why I had to come up with this series that we are beginning from this week. So it's going to run through for the next 6 months. So as long as we are going to be sharing this our setups, and the trading network is going to exist for the next 6 months. For the trading network is going to exist even into the new year. So it's not like it's going to end in December, no, into 2024. But I'm just referring to the fact that, okay, for the next 6 months, looking at my schedules, will take a day in every week to begin series. So our series are going to evolve from one range to another range, one angle of trading to another angle of trading, till it embodies the whole concept that will literally help every one of us to make more profits and see more gains. Now, when I made a post, the first post I highlighted earlier when I talked about the emotional intelligence, I wrote like a story about my experience with my mentor, and when he took me to a couple of trading houses, and because my mentor was on Wall Street, and he also has traded for about 3 different banks in the US and one of the banks in Canada as well. So he has a very large network with when it comes to hedge fund platforms and all that. And when we went through a couple of this, I think some of you, if you've even watched, there are some movies that have this kind of example. If you've watched movies that has to do with trading, like I think The Wolf of Wall Street might have that, but there's this seasonal movie called Billions. Billions has that very well. You would see in the hedge fund in Billions, you will see there's a particular lady there that was like a therapist. So when those who are traders are having issues, they go to her and they just say something or so, and she's able to help them get themselves, put them in the right place. So some people refer to them as performance therapists. There are different words when it comes to this therapist thing, but whatever it is, there's a role that she plays. Now, I saw the same thing in these platforms, and it is one thing that is missing in majority of platforms you see that gets to fail, trading platforms that fails. This is the thing that is missing. This is the missing link in them. And the second post I now made today, that was around 6 a.m. I say that the best traders in the world are not those who have the best strategies, but they are those who command the strongest mental balance. And I said, give a weak strategy to a very strong mind. You will see somebody that is making so much money, and he will make you think that all the trading knowledge you have is a waste. Then you will say, okay, let me pay this person. You will take money, you will go ahead, and you will pay this person for his or her knowledge. And then you will find out that what the person is teaching is not different from what you have already been taught or you know. And you'll be asking yourself, why? Is it that this person is not saying everything? Are there certain things these people are hiding that they do not want me to know? Or is it just the same thing? And I said, you're right. You cannot produce the result of a successful trader by just copying his strategies alone. But you can by copying the right mindset that is suited for that strategy. So that is why you can see somebody who let's say there are 5 persons who pays this. Maybe you pay for a particular trading strategy, and you guys are like 5 or 10 or 20. And then when you pay everyone. You pay everyone. You pay the person. Let's say every one of you guys pay the person. And it's that there are few people, some people, everybody. Let me say everybody start making results. Then along the line, it seems that the strategy is no longer working. And then there are some people who will be making more money, making more results, making more progress. And then they'll be like, what is the difference between you and these people? Because when you started, everybody was making money. Now it's only a set of people that are making money. Now, this is the main difference. This is the major problem. And the reason I'm starting this is so we can have this solved, have this sorted, and then you can now see your results, your trading progress, your trading prowess have a jump start. A way better jump start. There's somebody, I don't know if I think he has joined us. I don't know if he's currently on this live of this particular what's it called meeting now, but I know he's here on the platform. When he reached out to me about a particular trader that is I think becoming very famous in Nigeria, I think online and all that or so. And the boy is doing so well. He's doing so well, and I don't know if it's indices or whatever platform I think he trades or so, but he's doing so much results. He posts on his status how he's flipping account and flipping account and flipping account. And this other person who is in our community reached out to me and was like, I should please that this person he believes blah 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 blah. And I said, okay, how much does he charge? He said it's $50, I'll be $100 or so. So I decided to pay for him and said pay for myself. Let us join and let us see. And then we joined. And then I did also fund give him to let him fund his account and copy the trades. Cut the long story short, the money I gave to him for copying the boy's trades, the first trade the boy posted did so well, excellently well. Like the money I had, I think the money we flipped by is almost 700% or so, if I'm not mistaken. The trade did well. Then from the second trade to the last trade he called, let's say if we were in that group and he called 10 trades, 1 did so well, and the next 9 he called were all bad. So the person, this other boy, which made me to pay, and he's in our community. I don't know if he's currently on this live, so he might even be here. And he that made me to pay, I think he blew his account. I mean, he lost the money, copying the trades. And at the end of the day, he's the one that still came to my DMO and said, Shifu, I shouldn't have even made you to pay this thing. Or should have come, but I was like, when he was, I said that, see, I know this thing, I know how all these things work. You understand human psychology. The more these people are posting this thing, you begin to feel as if they know. You begin to feel these people are posting their wins doesn't mean that they're not losing. They're not losing, and you will be entrapped. But let me just pay. By the time I pay, I know he's going to see for him. We're going to experience it together for himself to understand what I was saying, and definitely what I was saying is what played out, and the whole money will go on and it was like a waste. Platform. I didn't even copy the trade. I was just watching. I just said, let me just be there and let me just watch what this person is doing, because there's no harm. If his knowledge is really, really good as it is said, probably I can learn from him. I could get 1 or 2 ideas from him. But it is this same point I want to give. I discovered that this person in question, his reward rates, in other words, his RR rate, the rate of his winning ratio is poor, very poor. But if he is able to win just one trade alone, maybe his RR for that trade might be 1 to 40 or 1 to 20. So that one trade he wins is going to overtake all the losses he has been making. So maybe he's going to enter like let's say he enters like 5 trades and he loses 4, but he makes 1, and that 1 will cover for the 4 losses and extra profit on top. That 1 that he won now is the one he's going to post on his status and he's going to post on the platform. That does not even mean he has a good winning ratio. His winning ratio is very poor, but his risk to reward is standard, like is key. Now, many persons who will join that platform will lose money, but there are some that will make money. Some that will make money. Why? Because those who have able to get his mental balance, because it takes a certain level of mental balance for him to lose trades and still risk again and then make it all back. Not everybody has that mental balance. So in that scenario, it wouldn't have been, it's not advisable for somebody who is a newbie or does not have emotional intelligence to be a part of such a platform. But now you're seeing how I'm able to derive from this experience, practical experience, to give you an overview. Some of you might now have this experience I'm referring to now. Some of you have had that kind of experience. You've paid some persons, you've joined some platforms, and it seems like maybe it's only one that we do. Why? The worst case scenario you can ever be is when it's not just the person's winning ratio is bad. It's when both the risk to reward ratio is bad and the winning ratio is bad. And the truth is, that one is terrible. It's like that one. You just say it's you refer to it as what we call suicide mission. That is suicide, total suicide. So, but when you look at the cost of what I'm saying right now, you understand that this is key. What we are dealing on is key, because once you solve this, it will take care of majority of your problems. Majority of your problem when it comes to trading. Some of you will be like, I think some persons will be like, when the trade is as if the trade is going bad. It's like the trade is going bad in against. I wanted to show us something. On. I want to show us something. Somebody was like, someone will be like, okay, it's as if when they notice as if the trade is going bad, I will not close it. Then it's now move. Oh, I will not be paid. When it is now moving in profits, I'll be like, okay, let me just close it fast so it will not take this. anytime if you are like that, this series, this episodes will solve all those problems. It will solve this problem of having loss, closing very early. And let me just show you an example. This was the account I showed us. Okay, let me see. How do I share my screen now? This was the account I showed us. I showed us this account that I think I showed us when it was at 900. It's above 900 now already. I think it's 1,000 something also. But I want to show us practically. For example, wait, can you guys see my screen? Can you see the screen? Can you see this, my Bybit screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Now, if you look at my screen, ComTrade, if you see my entry on ComTrade is different from the entry I dropped for us. I dropped an entry for you guys when I'm already in loss. I was at loss at 70. By the time it was at 70, if you check, most of your entries should be maybe 71.4 or 71.5 or 71.3, higher than me. So that means the percentage people will get is going to be more than mine. So let's say by the time you're entering, I'm already in like maybe loss of like, that is going to be showing minus something. Like, okay, look at UNFI. I'm giving you guys a very good entry at UNFI. I'm already on loss already myself. I'm already on loss. and I'm not panicking. And someone is giving you a better entry than himself. So the entries I'm sending 90% of the time for you guys is way, way better than my own entry. If I don't understand emotional intelligence and balance, I wouldn't even be doing that. So imagine me sending you a better entry, and then you still at the end of the day now missing out. That means sometimes imagine, okay, let's say you get in on UNFI at the entry I gave, and then when you get in, by then maybe I might be in -6, let's say -70% or minus whatever percent or so on this particular account, and then or -60, and then by the time it gets to my own entry, you're already in maximum profit than me myself. So it all differs. But even at that, I will explain to you why I have that emotional intelligence and that emotional balance. I'm going to explain this to you guys. I will explain to you, but I just want to show you practically. And the reason I'm showing you guys practically is, okay, this is basically an account. I want to be keeping up with you guys and saying this is the progress, this is the target, this is where I'm taking this account to. And okay, coming. Let me do this for you guys. So if those who have their notes and are noting down, let's get started. My first talk was basically to emphasize on you guys the importance of these sessions and this episode and this series we've begun, and how it's going to continue once in every week. So I can't deal on everything in one day. But the point I'm going to be giving in every session and every episode will literally help you very, very well and solve 99% of your challenges and problems when it comes to following the trades and generating results out of the trade, killing away fear, taking away greed, and help you to be patient to see the results and make money. Now, let's get started. The holy grail of trading. The holy grail of trading. I call the holy grail of trading 2 P's. There are 2 P's. When we talk about the holy grail of trading, I classify them to 2 P's. When we call the holy grail is like the Midas touch. The most important thing that if you understand this thing, you can become a trading millionaire. There are 2 P's. Probabilities and personalities. Probabilities and personalities. Now, in the aspect of probabilities, if you go to watch the House of Wealth channel, if you are on the channel, there's a section on the House of Wealth channel that's okay under the playlists. So let me share my screen. In the House of Wealth channel, under the playlist, you see here the 7 days of trading wisdom. In these 7 days of trading wisdom, these videos I did here, I think 2 minutes or 3, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, 4 minutes. So in like 10 minutes, you could literally watch everything. In this 7 days of trading wisdom, I did a lot of the probabilities here. So you can go there and then watch through everything. If you watch through everything in the 7 days of trading wisdom, it will answer the question that has to do with probabilities. But like I said, there are 2 aspects to the holy grail of trading: probabilities and personalities. So go to the YouTube channel, the videos there, go through them. Let me see if I can copy out the playlist directly and paste it. Okay, I can. I've pasted it. So we're dealing on personality. So we're dealing on personalities. So that's the part of it. We are not going to talk on probabilities. We're just going to talk on personalities alone. Now, the passage of probabilities, you have to watch it on the YouTube channel on your own private time. In 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're done watching everything. And you can watch it all over and over and over again repeatedly to be able to gain insight within those videos. Now, behind every trading strategy, there is a psychology. Behind every trading strategy, there is a psychology. We're dealing on personalities now. Personality, I said the holy grail of trading is divided into 2 arms. What are the 2 P's? One is probability, the second is personalities. So in the aspect of personalities, we are saying that behind every trading strategy, there is a psychology. Now, when we're talking about psychology, there is a universal winning psychology, and then there is a specific trading psychology. I repeat, there's a universal winning psychology and then there's a specific trading psychology. In other words, every trading strategy taught by different traders have and possess different psychologies. So let's say you have 10 traders which you're learning from. Each of these 10 traders have 10 different strategies. And for you to master these strategies, to be consistently profitable in each of them, you need to understand the trading psychology of each of these traders. So you have to be able to understand the 10 different psychologies. This is the reason why many of you is like if you're in what we call a near success syndrome. You're here, you're not there. You're moving forward, you're moving backward. Some of you have been, even some of you you've been following me for years. It's as if you're not making progress at all in trading. This is your problem. Your problem is you will leave you you will go and pay this one, go and pay that one, go and pay the whole world. Now the strategies are all good, but can you as a human being copy the psychology of 10 different persons? It is not possible. And even if it's possible, the mental state you have, you need a certain level of capacity to be able to copy it easily. A level of mental capacity and energy. Now, the best hack you can have is when you understand the universal winning psychology. If you have a universal winning psychology, now, no matter the strategy, you can easily produce result out of it. So it becomes easy. At that time now, you can decide to learn from 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, and yet your result will be consistent no matter who you're learning from. If you are able to obtain a universal psychology, a universal winning psychology. So the question now, what we are dealing in today is, how do you obtain a universal winning psychology? How do you get that? How do you get that? It's basically what we are going to deal on today. And I will just give us 3 points and then I will take our questions on today's session. Point number 1. You must understand that trading is all about emotions. They tell you that if you want to succeed in trading, you have to kill your emotions. It is not true. Trading is all about emotions. Hence, it is not possible to kill your emotions. It is only possible to control your emotions. I repeat, trading is all about emotions. That is why, okay, for example, let me share my screen again. Let me share my screen. Let me show you guys something. Now you're looking at, we're looking at Bloomberg is live, right?
High levels of job loss
And
that we've seen in some past.
I think it's over.
In some past instances, many past instances of tightening that look like ours. That's been my view.
Very clearly put the September meeting back on the table.
So this guy is live, and we have over 4.9 thousand people watching this. And then if you come here and just even if you come here, this is how I type FOMC meeting live. FOMC meeting is like 12,000 people is watching here, 1,900 people watching here, 982, 1.8K, 5,000 people, 4,500. Imagine different people with different channels are they are all live, connecting and hooking up their audiences right now to FOMC. And I'm coming. How do I go here? You now go over to what's it called? Go over to the charts. You now go over to the charts. Look at what is happening. It's moved up to the first sell entry I gave, came down, is moving up in a channel. This is the channel that is going. It's been moving up in a channel and it's like moving up. All these activities you're seeing, price is moving up, is down. It's all emotions, people's emotions. So people are, okay, is this going to go up? So is this going to come down? The same thing you're thinking in your mind. Thousands of people all over the world are thinking that same thing. So anybody who is telling you that trading is not about emotions, you have to kill your. The more they tell you that, the more it seems it's impossible because it is not true. That is not the truth. Trading is all about emotions. So it's not possible to kill your emotions. It is only possible to control your emotions. And you control your emotions by having a set of rules. having a set of rules. That is why we have a set of rules. That is why when I say when you join the platform, the first thing you want to do is to watch the videos. And when you're watching the videos, watch it with an intent to learn. Because when you're watching the intent to learn, there are set of rules in those videos I have taught that as long as you keep in line with those set of rules, you will be profitable. When you move out of line, out of your rules, then you begin to endanger yourself. So your focus is not killing your emotions. You see all those talk when we say, the emotions of traders are dead, is a lie. Traders are the most emotional people on the planet of this earth. The thing is, we have learned to control our emotions by having a specific set of rules that governs our emotions, or we live by. Our trades are kept on. So that is why you see, for example, I was sharing this account with you guys. It's back in loss. Which account was that, Seth? I think it was comp. I was sharing comp with you. And in the rules, you're like, okay, each trade I'm risking, let's say 5% of the account size that I'm growing. Then the trade you're risking 10%, and per trades risking 3%, 4%. And then you now see people who come into your DM and they'll be like, they close the trade. This is because the reason is because anytime you see somebody doing that, is because the person is not keeping to the rules. They are not keeping to the rules. So you ask yourself, what are the rules here? And these rules of trading that we are abiding by is what helps you to now control your emotions. So that thought of, okay, will this continue going up? Will it continue going down? It will be there. It will always be there. But it is the rules you have that now keeps you safe. And one of those rules could be, let's say, if I'm to take a trade and the trade has gone, I don't enter the trade. It has gone. If that trade has gone, I leave it. It's a rule. Okay. There are trades I said, okay, I'm risking 10% of this account size. Or the ones I'm risking, I said I'm risking about let's say 5% of this account size. They vary. So you want to say, okay, what are the rules? Now, number 2, still on the same point, but number 2, if you cannot handle a loss, then you do not deserve a win. If you cannot handle a loss, you do not deserve a win. That is one thing I repeated to myself until it downloaded in my subconscious. That if I cannot handle a loss, then I don't deserve the wins in the trades. Because we always teach that trading is a zero-sum game. For every win you're making, somebody else is losing. For every loss you're making, somebody else is winning. So it is a battle between winners and losers. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So when I tell that to myself, it helps me to maintain a mental state that, okay, what are the rules? So how do you handle the loss? You have a rule. If you know you can't risk more than okay, I think somebody sent me this. I've forgotten his name, because the name, I don't know, the name is in here on this. So but I want to cut off his name. So, but let me just post the chat. Since this evening he sent this. Now, this person says, before he gets to our short position, I decided to use the opportunity to long the trades and eat on both sides. And I longed all the short entries you gave us, and I risked just 2% of my account side, and I'm enjoying the ride. Now, he's making some profit. But this is the point here. He risked just 2% of his account size. So even if this thing goes against him, he's comfortable knowing that, okay, it's 2% that is gone. It will be made back. Just one trade alone that I will give will make that money back. just 1 to the loan if it goes against it. Now, this is his own discretion based on the teachings and all that I have taught and all that. There are different persons who send various messages, so. But this is within this. And that is why if I always teach, which is the point number 3, that in trading, you do not risk what you can afford to lose. You risk less than what you can afford to lose. Because when you risk less than what you can't afford to lose, you're creating an emotional space in your mental bank that, okay. So if you, let's say you have $100 account, if losing $10 is a big thing for you, then don't risk more than $10 on a trade. Risk $5. If risking $5 is a big thing to you, they don't risk more than $5. Risk $3. But the problem is, sometimes you are so greedy that you want to make all the money in this world in one single trade, and it is not possible. It is not possible. Okay, for example, I showed you guys this account, which basically I started with, is it $89 or so? This was barely $89, and I started with $89, yes, and then it was about 1,000, and it's around $2,000 or so now. But this is it. Even this particular comp trade, I'm risking 10%. So this is the stop loss. The stop loss is at 75.15, and 10% is $200. So if this trade gets to the stop loss and hits the stop loss, I'll be losing $202.50. So I think the account is already $2,000 something. So let's say $2,100, $2,200. So, but let's just leave this. Let's just say it's $2,000, but it's a little bit above that already. Now, and my target is to take this to 20K, and then from 20K to like 100K and all that. So, but this is the point. Your focus is, don't focus on the fact that, okay, I am, people's results are different. People's results are different. Some people make it faster, some make it slower. It all differs. But look at what I'm giving here now. So I'm risking 10%. So if 10% goes, $200 is gone. But if it gets to the final tip, it has $400 made. Maybe before I get to the final tip, I might close it with an extra $300 and all that or so. If I close it there, what happens is that the account increases. If it goes against and hits, then the stop loss is gone, it's boom. But I'm comfortable. And like I said, I gave everybody, I was watching it because I knew it will retrace, and going up, as it started moving up, I gave every one of us a better entry. So I was already like minus 50 when I dropped it. So everybody who got in from when I got it would be on a better entry than me. So this is an example. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to kill myself and all that. Or this, I've been looking at UNFI, and I slept off or so. And I also used UNFI, I think, as a case study, an example or so. So a 5% should be around $70 to 10% should be around $100. So this is like 3% or so, or 3.5% or so on this particular Bybit account. And this might push up higher, and then I still make up on higher entry. But the difference is, yes, there's a confidence level I have when it comes to the market. Some people's emotions is that they are too afraid. Then there are some people who their emotions is they are overconfident. Someone like me, the only emotional problem I have is that I'm too confident. I am too confident. I see myself as the best, and I know it that I am. So when it comes to the market, I am too confident. So but despite the fact that I'm too confident, what helps me not to hurt myself is the rules I put. Once in a while, I decide to do something crazy. But even the thing I do that is crazy is, let me give you guys a case study. Let me use BTC for a case study. Let me share the screen again, but I want to use this. Now, look at, of all the coins, all the assets I share to you guys from time to time, the only crypto that I risk the most amount of money is Bitcoin. The reason is because I have studied Bitcoin to the point that it's like at the palm of my hand. The only person in this world that is more accurate than me when it comes to Bitcoin is my own trading mentor. And now, because of that, I have a particular level of confidence. But I'm not even stupid. So I have two accounts I operate. I have my big account. I have this particular growth account, which I'm growing with you guys, which I'm using to show you now. That's my growth account. I'm using to do just account growth with you guys. And then I have my own personal account, which is a bigger funded account. But on this particular account is purely a growth account. And now let's say, we've been catching the movement of BTC. Like at this point here, when Bitcoin was around here, I did some voice note, I posted some things or so, and I was calculating the stop loss. And then on this particular note, I'm not saying you should do what I did, but I'm just giving you a case study of myself. When I take some kind of risk, I reached 50% of my account size because I was overstarting. I reached 50%. So if this thing had gone against me, I'd have lost 50%. But at the same time, I won't lose the whole money. But it would have taken away 50%. But I knew that it would not just happen like that. I just knew. That's why, and I did some voice note. Sometimes when I do voice note at times, it's just to help the emotions of people. It's not to help people's emotions, because some people can literally piss in their pants. So, and then imagine when I entered here, from here to here, just imagine how much my account would have given me from here to here. Because these are swing points. When you get trades at swing points, that's when your confidence can be more high. In between all these levels that the market was rigmaroling up and down, we scalped it too, yes, but at those points now, you don't want to even you can't take such kind of crazy risk. So even if I am to take a very crazy risk, it is still very calculated. It has to be at a swing point and a swing level. For example, let's say, assuming I was not on this particular session teaching you guys now, what I would have done here is this particular cell activated. And the moment I saw it come down to 29,200, I would have closed it at the bottom of this channel and then entered the buy. And each of this cap, I'll be using 5%. So let's say I entered the 5, because when we started this, I had a cell here actually. I have a cell here, I have a cell here, I have a cell here. And this cell, I've already closed it before we started the session. So but let's say I was not holding this session with you guys. And as it came to the bottom of the channel, I would have closed, entered the buy, and as it's moving up again. So it might just continue like this, and just be moving higher then from there, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But in this category now, why doing like this? What I will be doing, maybe I'll be risking 5% or 3%, just up and down, up and down. And before it gets to the final swing level of moving, I will just use a bigger amount there. So, but when you see people are silly, is when you decide to just do random things. So, you identify your emotional weakness. My emotional weakness is I am too confident. Your emotional weakness could be you're too afraid, you're fearful, or your emotional weakness could be you're too greedy. One of them. Or now, but whether you're too greedy or you're too fearful or you're too confident is not a problem, because you cannot kill your emotions. You can only control it. And the only way you can control it is by a set of rules. So I have to follow my rules. And as long as I follow my rules, I'll be able to ensure profits. So if a trade is given, for example, and a stop loss is given, and the request is that you shouldn't risk more than 5% or 3%. Now, when you put in the stop loss, you just watch, you allow it move up in profits. If it goes down, drop down, and this, don't, until a trade has hit the stop loss, that is when you can say, okay, this trade is a loss trade. Because sometimes if it doesn't, I might indicate that, okay, let's close in a little loss, or let it not, let's close at entry or close in a little loss, or just ignore the trade. I am going to indicate it. I don't think Kenny indicates his own. Kenny just posts his trades, and just the only thing you just see is that he will come maybe 1 day later, 2 days, and tell you TP1 has hit. You see this thing he did us in one. See, Kenny, God, it's God that will judge you. He's coming here. You're coming out to post TP1 has hit after one has 1 hour life. Now, this is not because is, let's say he does this analysis and do all that and post that, and then as long as it does not hit the stop loss, it's fine. Just allow it to do its thing and it will get to where it should go. And as it moves in profit, you can secure profit. We always know the principle of securing profit. You take out some profits, you move your stop loss to entry and allow it to ride. All these things are things that sometimes I have to now personally be reiterating it for us. I have to start not just my own trades. I have to also look at other people who are posting trades and also give updates on their own trades for you guys' sake. So why? It's so you can be able to be guided, be in that rules. Now, the funny thing about the trading is you will just know that thing that is pushing you to close too early, and a trade that is giving others profit to close in loss. This is basically it. You are operating without a set of rules. And that set of rules is what is meant to help you control your emotions, keep it in check. Because when you have that set of rules, what happens is that you begin to grow. Even if your account grow by 20% in a week, it is a very good progress. Some people's own will grow by 100%. It is their own. It is not your own cases. Just make sure you are growing, because the more you grow, the better you become. Trading is not a marathon. It's not a sprint. Sorry, it's a marathon. And you can't compare me that maybe I've been trading for years now. My own speed won't be your own speed. Some people here have been mentored by me long time. Some of them are members of ITC and VIP. Some of them too have gone through the course on the website. They've paid for the courses on the website and they've gone through it. Those people, their own level of understanding won't even be your own level of understanding, because they have gone through my courses. But whether you've gone through the courses or not, as long as you do not try to you're not competing with anybody here. We are not competing with anybody. We are growing together at our own scale. Some people have a bigger account and they are growing it. There's someone here, I think the person is trading with a $20,000 account. And that person is per trade, I told him to use, I think, 3% per trade. Don't use up to 5%, just use 3%. So 3%, he's using like $3,000 on a trade. So I think is 10% of $20,000 is $2,000. So 3% is around 600, 700. So then after a while, and I told him, okay, you can now be using 5%. So he reached like $1,000 or so per trade. There's another person in this network too who has, I think, a $40,000 account. So everybody's result is different. Then there's some of you too who have 1 Naira account, 2 Naira account. It's either that is 1 Naira or 2 Naira, it is still something. There are people here who've grown as little as $5 account, $10 account. It is incredible, amazing. But if you want to replicate this result, every single one of them are working with the rules to help maintain their emotions. Because our IQ capacity differs. The time we have also to be stable, looking at the charts or following up with trades differs. So you want to work within the jurisdiction of your duties, of when you are available, when you aren't. There are people here who are office workers too. They have to create time when they can copy trades, and time they will just ignore it. And they're still making profits. So you want to note down the rules. If you haven't done it, go to the videos in the session, watch them again, and identify every rules that I shared or I've talked about in the network, in the platform. And when you identify it, now tell yourself that, okay, you will try to keep them. That's why we have the demo account. So you can decide to be testing yourself with the demo account and see how you can maintain with the demo account. And if you do it for the demo account for like 3 days, 4 days, that's okay, it's time. Let me now go to the to the real accounts. And you try, because you see this thing that has to do with emotion. It is a daily battle of trying to control it. There are times to the greed too we want to get at me. There are times to fear too we want to get at me. It is a normal thing. But what will make you not to take rash decisions is when you make sure that you are keeping with the rules. Like I said, I can't delve deep into everything on emotional intelligence now, but I'm dealing on the most important parts. Probably by next week session, I might now deal on what we call the different types of emotions and how you can know the emotional kind of the person you are, how you can define and how it is affecting the trades you're taking. You will just know whether you will just know there are people. If I interview a person, I can tell you if you will be successful in flipping account and if you won't. And whether you're successful in flipping account or not does not mean you cannot grow accounts. Flipping account is different from growing account. Flipping account is when you're able to grow account fast, and there are people that will not be able to grow it fast. There are people who can grow it slow. But when you identify your emotional type, you'll be able to just grow it within the level and jurisdiction of your emotional type. So basically for today, we talked about the holy grail of trading, which is two P's, probabilities and personalities. And we identify personalities and the psychology that has to do with obtaining a universal winning psychology, which you can use and replicate in several kinds of trade. And I gave us 3 different points in that aspect. So it's already we've been talking for about 45 minutes now. So I want to take questions. If you have questions, you can ask. I'll take 1, 2, 3 questions, and then we'll be done for today. Okay. Allowed to speak. Ife Solar, so you're requesting, you can speak. Okay. Money, I think I've allowed you. Money, you can now speak, you can ask.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Ogashifu. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Please, my question go like this. This thing that you taught is very clear. It's always happened to me. That emotion,
Yeah.
because sometimes I will put a trade in an entering point. So the market will be going down or will be going up. So instead of me leaving it to hit the take profit, or I will exit the market because of the fear. Secondly is I want to understand that particular trade that you put first profit, second profit, third profit, and even fourth profit. Are you getting my point? So when it hit the first profit, that is where the problem is for me, because I don't know how to leave it second profit, third, and fourth.
Okay. Now, in such situations, when a trade has several TPs, most times, the way the market is, you might not, it might not get to the final set most of the times because of how the market behaves. So once it gets to TP1, you can take out some profit. So whenever I say secure profit, for example, what I mean is take out some profits, move your stop loss to your entry. So if it goes to your entry, it will just close you, but at least you've gone out with some profit. But if it doesn't go to your entry, it will just continue going to TP2 and TP3. So when you get to TP2 or TP3, you will now close out more positions. Now, how much you close out in a position is differs for people. There are some trades, once it hits TP1, I close like 70%. So once it hits TP1, I close 50% or 30%. So my close more. So you just adjust it. And sometimes these trades, when you're taking this, most times the points might not be number perfect. It might be missed with some points extra or minus some points. So when you're setting it, you just set it in a way that, okay, this thing, even if it doesn't hit this, it will be close to TB2 and it will still close me. You can do it that way. Because this is like I said, it's a refined something that you just keep getting better at. You just keep getting better at. And as you keep getting better at, built over time, you now start developing confidence, you now start developing in your emotions. And just like I said, it will always be there, but you will grow in it. It becomes better. And then like I encourage everybody to go and watch the list I just dropped, the playlist on the YouTube channel. If you watch through the playlist on the YouTube channel, it will literally help you very, very well.
Okay. Thank you very much. But there is one more question, sir.
Okay.
Like the signal you drop. When you drop the signal, I will place a trade in entry. But I don't know whether if the market is going against, so far is not hitting the stop loss, I should leave it, right?
You should do what?
I should not close the market until it hit the stop loss.
Yes. As long as you're using two things. One, as long as you are using within the risk parameters, then you don't have to close it till it hits the.
Okay.
And two, if there is need for you to close it, if I'm the one who gave it, I'm going to give a heads up that please close this trade. Close it in either little loss or close it at entry. Or if any of the other also admins here drops, then they will also give updates. I think there was a trade that Terry that posted one time or so. He later gave update that okay, everybody should cancel it and all that. So I give updates on mine. Every other trader who drops trade, Teddy, Kenny, Kingsley, all of them, they give updates on theirs as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. So because if you look at, I think this one that Kenny posted now, it has dribbled us and dribbled, despite the fact that it has been dribbling us. Honestly speaking, it did not hit stop loss, but now it has gotten to CP1. And many of us, including myself too, it doubts to me, so I had to close it.
Anyway,
I had to close it.
To be honest, you are wonderful. At least through your strategy and your signals, at least I have been growing $50 to $80 at least within at least some days. I really do appreciate. If not because of this emotion, I should have been more than that. But now that you have cleared it out, clear me now. I have understand everything clearly, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Another person wants to speak. Who is the person?
Thank
you. Ifeshola.
Okay. Shola, go ahead. Ifeshola.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I just joined your trading group about 2 weeks ago. So what I noticed is this: you said something about some people are office people. Sometimes I will be at work. I will see that you dropped signal. I will just quickly enter the parameters, the entry price, take profit, stop loss, and I will go. And I will come back and see that the trade has hit stop loss. And one of the major issues I have is this: you said there is a certain amount of money, a percentage of our capital that each person can afford to lose. Sometimes the stop loss, this thing you enter, will be too large for me that I cannot just imagine losing. So I will bring it down a little bit. And most times it hits stop loss. Sometimes I will see my trading profit, and while waiting for it to hit TP, I will notice it goes back to its stop loss. So I've always been closing out of panic, closing on little profits.
Yeah. So okay, it's a very good one. I get to go ahead, finish.
Oh, okay. What I now notice is my risk to reward ratio is not making my account size to grow.
Yeah.
So if I'm making $1 on a trade, and maybe I'm risking $2. I'm supposed to make maybe $6, but I close before it enters reaches TP. So by the time I lose one trade, it has taken the profit of 2 or 3 trades.
Yeah. Okay. So that is it's a good one that you're noticing your where you're missing it. But at the same time, now this is it. This is why I encourage watching the risk management videos, because I did the 5th video, and I was like, there's a few guys who've been trading on no futures before now have been taught. And that misconception comes with when they tell you that leverage is if you use big leverage, your account, you liquidate. All those things are rubbish teachings. Now, and 2, when they tell you that, okay, because the stop loss is large, it means that no. Stop loss is not where a stop loss is kept is not the problem. The problem is how much percentage of your account you are risking on that trade. So let's say if you say that you want to now adjust your stop loss to be lower because it is big, you have already invalidated the setup already. The setup is already invalidated. So you can decide to let's say let me use let's say what should I use as an example now? Should I use as an example? Okay, let me share this. So if you look here on this chart now, if you see the entry, and if you look here and the stop loss, it might look big, large. Yes, it is. But what matters is not whether it is large or it is small. Most times when the trade is a swing trades always have large stop loss. When it's a scalp trade or intraday trade, many are. But even if it is small or big, it is not what matters. Whether a stop loss is big or small is the same thing I'm risking per trade. The same thing I'm risking. So if I said I'm risking 5%, and maybe 5% is $200. So if you bring a big stop loss, I'm still using it's still $200. If this thing hits stop loss, I will still lose $200. If you use a smaller one, I will still risk $200. If you hit the stop loss, I will still lose $200. But when you're adjusting it means you do not really understand what I've explained when it comes to stop loss and risk. Stop loss and risk. And now for the aspect of managing trades, that is why we drop follow-up updates from time to time regarding each of the trades, so you can be able to maximize it very well. And I think a couple of persons here might be also, they are workers, so I think they might also have an idea. I think Mr. Rolams, you are a worker, right? You work in the office, right? Is Rolams there?
Sorry, Shifu, but I work too, so maybe I don't think Mr. Roland is a speaker. So
Okay, I just
yeah.
because I know Mr. Rolands can actually give him a tip. A tip, because he works in the office and there's a way he monitors his office duties and copying the trades and follows. So I wanted him to share. But if there's another person who's been copying the trades too and is working the office, want to add the extra tip to help Ifesola, you could actually share. And share.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Most times, right? I sometimes I get engrossed in work, and what actually helps me is the notifications I get from my Telegram.
Yeah.
Good, Chifu. Also, I also work in office, and for most times, what I do is, though I don't take all the trades all the time. Sometimes I miss some. Most of the catch are the ones that very early in the morning because to be awake. So most times I don't have time in the office. But what I do is, I think what you should just do is just watch that video on how to leverage and then manage your risk. And then one thing I just told myself is this. It's not about how much I make, but how I'm actually growing the account. Just like what you did, I also started a $3 account on Bybit, and it's growing. I sent you a message. I'm going to do my testimony on it, and when it gets to the point, because there's one trying to aim, when that point, the video test and then share. So
Wow.
it's just about how you what I did that $3 account is to see how I'm actually I used to be blows accounts a lot. Yes, I account a lot, and told myself if I raise a account to maybe like $100, $500, then I know that I now have that confidence that if I have a $50,000 account, $1K account, I won't do it. So maybe you can
Yeah.
just start small first. You can actually manage your emotions, risk with that little account. Even sometimes my profit can be 5 cents. And my profit can
Yeah.
be, but I just make sure it's just constant. As long
Yeah.
as it's constant, then that I see that is also, and I also monitor the, and like the account so far, I know it's now like 6, just in 7, trade that we start, and multiplied it by 6, and it's still growing. That's the thing. So I think it's just learning how to manage a small account like we taught us. If you cannot, manage a small account, if you only have $1 million account, you also blow it. So it's not you
Exactly.
catching all the trades. And if there are some that are done, let it go. Because the time
Yeah.
Pelly blew half of the account, the $3 account, I think I did it, I took it up to like dollar, and I blew half of it. And I sent you a message saying there was a trade I messed and it was time for me to get back. It was after I got back into that trade, really, and the trade actually paid what I lost with profits. So I think he's learning how to wait for the
Yeah.
trade after the trades and that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I think Manny talked a bit, and then Chi Doxy. Thank you for both of your reply to Ifeshola. So, does anybody have another question?
Yes.
Yes,
Good
Yes,
evening.
yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay,
Good
okay.
evening.
Oh yeah, if are plenty, you should wait. Oh yeah, Cynthia ask, and then Wachuku you go next, then Forsec will go next.
I have a
Thank you.
question as well.
All right. Good
Okay, okay,
evening.
okay. Yes, good evening. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, Mr. Wells. Okay, the question I want to ask is when you talked about taking profit, right? You always
Yeah.
say take partial profit. So in Bybit account, there is this place down the this thing that always be partial profit that you can actually set partial profit. So I tried setting partial profits on trades, and I found out that I don't know, maybe I didn't do it well, but they didn't go through. So the trade actually moved up, and I was expecting those partial profit I said to actually, pick profits for me,
Yes.
but it didn't. Okay, so that's one of my question there. Then also when you talked about closing, taking profits, also percentage profits as well instead of closing totally, and you can take 50 or 70%. I found out that if you open a trade and when you set your trade, you're supposed to make like $20 and you are losing just $2 if that's what you have said you're going to be risking for that trade.
Mm.
And then you take a first, maybe it's TP1 and TP2, and you take out 70% or
Yeah.
75% out of your trade. I found out that even if it's eating the last TP, You are not going to
Yes.
make that exact $20 that you actually was supposed to make initially.
Of course. Do you want to see the money? Of course, now you won't make. But what you're doing is that you're just trying to. You're trying, like I said, this is the process. You get better, you get better, you get better. So for the part of partials, let me just use comp again as an example. And so let's say this is comp, and then final TP is 63, and I want to set partials here. So if I click on partials, I'll click on partial position. Now, partial position, I want to say, okay, I want to close off. Let's say I want to close 30%. 30% of my comp should close at $70. So if we get to $70, it will close 30% for me. Or let me use $69. So if it grows to $69, let me just say 69.1. It will close 30%. So 30%, it will close for me $30. I'll click on confirm. Automatically it shows here as a partial position. I can now come back here again and say, okay, once it gets to 68.1, close 50% for me. So I said if it gets there, that means I'm going to make $75. And I close it. So like that, you can just set it. So sometimes I set partial positions across even before it gets to final TP. So most time before it even gets to final TP, it has cleared all the partial positions and closed the trade already for me. So it depends on how you calculate it or how you where you set it. So let's say if the final TP is somewhere around $63, and I'm putting it, okay, when it gets to, I will put that when it gets to 63.1, because this thing is all about liquidity. If you get to 63.1, please close 75% or 100% for me. So instead of hitting 63, once it gets closer, it will close for me. And most times I always encourage adding a little points either before or after, depending on if it's a long or short. So it helps you you are sure that it must peak for you, even if it doesn't get to the exact number, because of the wicks of the candle in the market. And then I can also now set it. So here is where you put in the amount of let's say 64, and then here is when you put in percentage or so. I know that. I just cancel all of them. So that is that for that. I said who's the next person? Wanchuku, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, actually, I just want to start by saying thank you. When I come across your page, I was like, let me give it a try. So I decided to do all the process, and I'm happy I got here. Like when I got to this community, this network, I was so much. It was like a home, like what I've been looking for, and you have been dishing a lot. I say, God bless you for that, sir. God bless you, really
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
All this while, I've been having a challenge. I trade, I trade. Once I found my account, I hustle offline. I found my wallet. I blew it off in a week. I hustle again. I put again. The thing is that every time, like I hustle offline, I found my wallet. I blew it up. I found again. I've been repeating this process, but right now I have actually found out my problems and my challenge. Like I have actually found out my problems. The problem has been emotional. Intelligence, because if
Yeah.
I enter a trade now, my phone will never go off. I'll always be watching it. My body will be hot. I will be monitoring, like if this thing hits stop loss, I'm dead. The level of intensity in me is always high. So,
Yeah.
but since I've gone through your videos, I can, put a trade and sleep off and come back and see profits. So I
Yeah.
don't actually have a question. I don't say God bless you, because I didn't get into crypto actually by maybe someone told me. I got into
Mm.
it because it's something I love doing, and I see it
Yeah.
as a hobby. So I got into it as a hobby, and because of lack of guidance, then I was having all those challenges and loss, but I still kept
Yeah.
on. But thank God that finally I have been able to meet a network where I can connect easily. Actually,
Yeah.
I funded my account with $35 the other time, but within that was on Saturday. Today is Wednesday. I've already made $70. That is 100% of
Wow.
my listing, and I was actually happy. Like, I'm very very happy because this has never happened before. Thank you so much. God bless you for me. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, Forsec, are you the one that will talk next? Forsec.
Yeah, good evening,
Okay, okay.
everyone.
Then
Good
Money.
evening,
After
Shifu.
Forsec, Money.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Shifu.
Yeah, good.
I would want to waste much time, but please permit me to show appreciation, just as the last speaker just ended. I've been a follower for quite some time now, but the inadequate fund has prevented me from joining your VIP and then all that. So I want to appreciate you for this wonderful opportunity. May God continue to bless you and enrich your pocket. My question is on emotional or psychological effects of trading that you just explained to us, and it's clear, and I can say that I understand everything that you just explained to us. But in order to manage this, I would like to ask, is it possible, just as you said, that one should have his own principles and rules? Is it possible for someone to just say, okay, rather than waiting for the TP to eat, can I just say, okay, let me just decide that so percentage of profit is what I'll be taking off. Once you get to that percentage, I close the trade
Yes,
rather than
yes,
waiting.
yes, yes, yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
All right.
yes,
Thank you very much.
definitely. Yes. Rolams was saying he was trying to unmute his mic, but he can't. Rolams, I think you have to look at the mic button on your TG. You'll be able to click it. That's how you can unmute it.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you, Manny. Go ahead. Manny, go ahead. Go ahead. I can't hear you again. Huh?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now perfectly.
Oh, okay. A lot of persons have spoken. They've asked about some of the things I.
Wow. I think his network that is affecting you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think this is better. I said the first time I hopped into this the Bybit trading platform. I think I started with $52. Then I lost 19. I was it touched me, and I was like, "Oh, more, we die here. We are going to grow this account. We die here." So I grew back to 52, right? And I was happy. I had to pass. I had to because sometimes it's either by the time I wake up in the morning, you have posted some trades by 2 a.m. and I'm like, Jesus Christ, those sheep will ever sleep. You didn't sleep? What is this? I had to try to turn leave my internet connection on, allow my notifications to work, because my phone actually sleeps by 9, so that I don't receive much notifications from anybody except from family. So I put some exceptions, but still, they work. I just had to because I know I go to work, so by 5 a.m. and up. So I wait for the trades that come on by 6 or by 5 something. Then I hop on those ones. Then I grew the account. It was a slow and steady process, because I know that most times, I know that one thing about trading is what you put in is what is the measure at which you give is at the measure which you receive. If you put in the profit someone that put in $100 is different from you that put in $5. The person can be making let's say $50 on one trade or 20. Yeah, you can be making like $1 or $2 as the case may be. So I try to maybe take TP2 or TP1 but what I do is I just try to make at least $2 on each trade, or $3, a minimum of $2 or $1.5 on each trade, just to slow and steady. Cumulatively in a day, at least I can make like $5 in a day or $10 in a day to grow the account. Then I grew the account to I think $68 from the loss to $68, and I was happy, and I was like, let's keep going. Then I think towards last weekend, the account went back to 40. I don't know how. I think I lost a lot. I lost a lot because I was at work and I lost track of a lot of things. Then some of the trades, because the strategy I was using was, once I watched a particular coin or token that was called, and let's say my TP is TP3, which is maybe around $4 or $5 or $2, anyone it is, and it is up to $1.50, I'll go and take partial position.
Wow.
I'll just go and take partial position and just wait. Then adjust my stop. Automatically adjust my stop loss to entry, or a little bit above my entry, so that I don't think, because I've noticed that even adjusting it to entry gives you a little bit of loss. I just adjust a little bit above entry. As far as it's green, I'm fine. And it has really, really been working for me. It has really, really been working. But the question is this, Chief. When you take partial positions, I know that if you're supposed to make $20 in a trade, you might end up making 15 because of the differences in prices of the various positions which you have taken. But is there any way you can still add position on the one you have already?
Yes.
Like add instead, like, since let's say I've taken a partial position like 75% on the trade, can you add extra, since like a position whereby you can buy in again while that trade is still going, so that at the end of the trade, maybe when it hits your TP, you still make that same amount of money you are supposed to make, having taken two separate positions in two separate prices?
Yes, but the fuck up there is that if you try it, your risk will increase. Your risk will increase, like the amount you're going to lose will increase. It's weird, but this particular thing, I've tested it in various exchanges. I tried it in Binance, I tried it in Gates.io, MXC, even Bybit, all of them. They have that madness. So the best is, once you've taken partials, just be focusing more on taking partials. Don't think of adding any position, except it's a swing trade. It's a swing trade. And swing trades like that are very fluent. They are very fluent when it comes to, it's just like we're in a bear market. And in this bear market, very few people are actually making profits in this bear market. But even in the bear market, if you understand the structure of the market, you can actually swing trades. And that's why I do consistent market overview from time to time. The reason I do this market overview is basically giving everybody an edge. Because, for example, it is okay. Let us use this. Let's use this particular chart. So I use now. If you look this charts, I stopped using this because this chart is very, very scattered. So that's why I'm using the other one to push up. But this was the initial chart I've been using, marking out Bitcoin since last year. If you see, all the markings are from the dip of 2021. Now, if you see here, when the market is moving up when it is trending, it's very easy. Look at how it's just buying. It's very easy. But now when it gets to this point where look at how it's been behaving. It was behaving this region. That's how it confuses people. Then now it went up here. And now coming down a bit, everybody is saying this needs to go to 33,000, 35,000, 38,000. Now it's now confusing people. It's confusing people to the point that they are not even sure right now. Now, but if you have, let's say, the edge of understanding the market, which I'm already giving to us by explaining to you guys, this is what is going to happen in this market, and this is how it's going to play out in the next coming days, and then you now just follow it level to level. At that point, now you can swing. So let's say, you enter the sell here, and then when you came here, you closed, you just you maybe took some partials, and then you can decide to wait, enter on that sell. Okay, the best explanation. Let me use 4 hours chart. So let's say you enter the sell here, and then price you closed some partials, and price came and retraced up again back into this place where we now enter the second sell from 30,200 to this now. This second sell, would have been able to enter, make another entry. And even when price came here, it didn't actually close. And I was like, price is going to come and retrace again, which it did activate again. They would have given another opportunity to enter again. So the only time where it is advisable to make more entries, it is when you know that you are on swing levels, on only swing levels in the market. So if we use this other chart, which I am, this particular chart, which I use, and I use the case study to tell you that what is happening here is basically a pure distribution schematics. And this distribution schematics always have 5 phases. And now, the 5 phases, which is where we are currently in the 4th to the 5th phase, it states that price is going to come into this blue region and then go down to 28K. And I told you guys that, for example, today is FOMC. You can see everybody is panicking for FOMC. Emotions are everywhere. But the truth is, what we play out in FOMC, the truth is, if you want to be able to know what will happen in FOMC, CPI, and before, it is just one thing. Know what will happen in the market before that day. If you know what will happen in the market before that day and after that day, you can easily tell what will happen. Because the market is just like, should I say it's his spirit realm? I don't know how to explain it. But whatever is on the charts, whatever comes out, any news that comes out just comes to complement whatever you know already. And like I said, exactly what has been playing out. Like you see that, okay, it's moving up into these zones. Maybe it goes higher to 29K, 30, if it touches those levels also, and then now starts falling. Now imagine if you've been in a sell from like 32,200 or 30,300 and you close some. As it's retracing now, you can now add positions when it retraces. But if you add positions on, let's say on sells, you add positions in resistance levels. On buys, you add positions in support levels, because those are swing points. That's where you add positions, add sell position. But if you try it just on a normal, no, it's just going to wreck you. It will wreck you. So guys,
okay, thank you, sir.
I've answered so many persons already, and some people gave testimonies. They've turned it to appreciation center, appreciation meeting. But the point is, I've answered a lot of you guys. I know many persons want to see ask, but I can't answer everybody now. That's why we're having it once every week. There'll be this session every week, and we'll deal on it. And we thank God that in here we have should I say a myriad of a lot of persons. We have people who are working